All right, you guys. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to get on this Zoom. I thought, what better time to do a Zoom than May 1st when I know there's so many of you guys hitting those promotions this month. And I thought, how amazing would it be to hear from so many amazing rock stars who literally just blew April out of the park. Sorry. There were so many of you guys. And if I had you guys all on here, we'd probably be on here for hours and hours. So I'm super excited for you guys to hear from some of these amazing rock stars who literally either have been in this business for 30 days or, even longer. So you're going to hear from all kinds of spectrums here. So we are first going to start with Haley. My name's Amanda, by the way, for those of you guys who don't know me, but we're going to start with Haley. Haley, let me pull up your questions really quick. So Haley just joined us 30 days ago. She signed up in April, the beginning of April, and she signed up because she was interested in the products. In fact, she signed up as my customer, and that same day, actually it was the next day, I want to say. It was the next day, right, Haley?
Yep, it was the next day.
Yeah, the next day, because I was like, man, she would be so awesome at this business. I was like seeing her post, and she signed up as a customer with several of the products, and I was like, man, she would be so awesome at this. So I reached out to her and was interested in making some extra money. And so she ended up getting started, and so we ended up canceling her customer account, and now she is a distributor. So hold on, sorry, I get sidetracked. There's a sorry, let me mute. Somebody's not muted and clicking. Okay. So now Haley has, in 30 days, she got to Ruby, and she was mapped. She's one distributor from being mapped from Emerald. So Emerald is her month this month. So Haley, please share us a little bit about yourself. I know you don't have too much time, so just share us a little bit about yourself and why you got into this business.
Oh goodness, I don't even know where to start, really. I've been a single parent for 5 years. I have a lot of student loans. I've always been going back to school, and I think just a little bit of extra income would definitely help. I'm a cosmetologist as well, and I've just got started, and so that would definitely help me. I mean, even just pay my booth rent or pay for a car payment or something, it would completely help me out. One, I love the products as well, so it was just a bonus in itself.
That's awesome. I love it. So when you got started, how did you just take off right away? How did you, what were some of the tips or things that you did right away just to get those 4 customers and to start building your business?
Well, I would say for one, probably messaging you and asking you so many questions. I just bugged the crap out of you for several days trying to get information on each of the products and what to say, just so much information. And then I would say just messaging people, being persistent about messaging people. And it's okay if you can't message them right away, but to follow back up with them as well. That has really helped me out. Yeah, I would just say persistence.
Yeah.
And making sure you're constantly posting. And if they say, no, not today, don't get paid until Friday or Monday or whatever, just remind them. Then it doesn't even have to be those days, just a couple days later, and be like, hey, what'd you think? It's okay if you don't want to right now, or if you can't right now, but just to be persistent in talking to them, to let them know that, hey, if you do change your mind, you're here to help them.
Yeah, absolutely. So following up and just, messaging people and getting it out there, asking people if they want to try the products and make extra money. I love that. So, we totally, definitely, I would probably talk to Haley several times a day. And I think that that's so important because, when we get into this business, this is so new. So if you have somebody who sign you up, which obviously we all do, it's so important to have that communication with them, ask them questions, and have them really guide you until you do feel comfortable. Like, I've been in this for 4 years, and I literally probably message Jackie at least every other day asking her questions. So having that relationship with your upline and your sponsor is just, it's so important, I think, anytime in this business. If you guys, I don't know who's muted them. Or
whole new world.
Got to give Carrie her magnet.
Okay. Oops, there you go. Okay. So, okay, Haley, you are such a rock star. Okay, so what did you do? So, like, in one day, how you got 14 loyal customers, right? In one day.
Yeah.
And that was like several days after you joined. So that wasn't even like your warm market, right? It was like halfway through the month, or like the third week of the month. So what exactly did you do to get those customers?
Well, for one, it happened on a Monday. Mondays I don't work, so I was able to really get those host to posts out there for one. And those are like crucial. I think I only had like 4 or 5 hosts to post. Mm-hmm. But just being very positive whenever you're talking to them. It's okay if they don't join. It's perfectly fine. But being positive, because they will change their mind. And I've had several people that were like, no, I don't think it's for me. And then they see another friend posting a post, and they're like, okay, maybe I might do it now. You know what I mean? Just like getting all those host to posts out there. Mm-hmm. That's been really helpful.
Yeah, that's amazing. So do you think that it was mostly what helped you get all those customers were the host to post?
Yeah, and I would say it was also friends of friends. Like, it was just a bunch of friends that I've had, like closer friends, and then that they have mutual friends in common as well. Mm-hmm. And then them seeing like, oh, so she did it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So then that's really helped me. That's how I was able to get all of those loyal customers. And then once somebody comments, I think you had told me this, add them as a friend to build your network, and then message them. And then even like those people that weren't from around my area, I would ask them, hey, will you host a post? And then that was just making it much bigger. It wasn't just sticking in one area.
Yeah, I love that. I love it because, oh, we have somebody sharing the screen. I can't see who that is. Exit full screen. Oh. Can anybody see who's sharing?
It said Haley Moss.
Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect. Thanks.
I
love that, because that's why I love the host to post, because you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You are growing your network, but you're also gaining so many potentials while you're doing it. So that is so amazing. And just one more question, like, since you were new and you're not only learning the business and you're getting, you know, everything just thrown at you all at once, how much time did you spend, would you say, each day working this business to get to Ruby? Because you also work full time. You are a single mama, and you also have a farm, right? Like you do. So
yep,
you are so busy.
Super, super busy. I travel 45 miles to my job and back, and then running my daughter around to school and daycare and everything like that. And then also whenever I get home, I have to do a bunch of chores. Like, I remember talking to you guys on a Zoom, and it was, okay, I got to feed my cow.
And I was like so amazed. I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's crazy. I want a cow.
It was just, yeah, it's definitely, it's hard, but again, you don't have to reply to them right away, but you need to be consistent with messaging them, if that makes sense. If you can't message them right away, just be positive and be like, hey, sorry I couldn't get to you right away, but do you have any questions for me? Or you can even, like, I really like those PDF files, and they're like they want to know the ingredients and things like that. And then so I'll share that with them, and then that obviously takes a little while for them to look at, and then they can come back with me with questions that they may have.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I am so proud of you, Haley, and I am just cheering you on for Emerald this month. And I appreciate you jumping on because I know it's hard for you to make it to the Zoom. So thank you so much for giving all your tips. You are so amazing.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Talk to you soon. Thanks. All right. And if you guys have tips for Haley, not tips. If you have questions for Haley, she has to, I think, maybe jump off. I'm not sure. But I can always relay them to her and have her answer them for you. But she is a little rock star. So, okay. And you guys can ask any questions in the chat area also if you guys have questions. Okay, Lauren, you are up next, my friends. Let me get to your questions. So, Lauren, hi. Can you hear me okay?
Please don't do that again.
It was saying like, can you guys hear me okay? Or is it cutting out?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, sorry, I get sidetracked. So, Lauren, will you tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you have been in this business? Because you are also another one of my newest rock stars. And just tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of how we became friends. Just and tell us a little bit about how you got started and why you're doing this.
Yeah. So I started just like 30 days ago too. I think right at the very end of March. And I currently work full-time as well. I work in higher education at a college, and I joined just in like the midst of a job search. So I was super busy, like going to different colleges and interviewing. So it was a really crazy time for me. But essentially I joined because I was looking to make extra income because, like Haley, I have a lot of student loans, and I was looking for a way that I can help pay those down quicker because I set a goal for myself that I would leave the job I'm in now and have my loans paid off. And I'm leaving now in 2 months, and without something else, it's not going to happen. But now that might actually be a possibility. So that's really exciting.
That is so exciting. And Lauren and I met, I think, just from like one of my live videos. It maybe popped up, and a friend, I'm not quite sure, but that's why I always say live videos are so great, because if somebody shares that live video, then their friends are going to see it. So Haley just reached to me one day and just said, hey, tell me a little bit more about the business. So you are just so amazing, Haley. I keep on saying Lauren. Okay, Lauren. Okay, so what was your mindset like going into this business? Because I know that you wanted to make money, but I know that you were also very hesitant, and you were kind of nervous about because you've done a networking company before, so you were a little bit hesitant, but you wanted to make money. So what was your mindset coming into this business and kind of throughout the month of the business?
Yeah, so like you said, I did 2 different companies before, and they were super different from It Works. But I felt like I think it was like 2 days I was asking you a bunch of questions, maybe like 1 or 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like throwing all different types of questions at you because I knew what to ask. But at the end of like, the time I started thinking about joining, it was pretty much like, all right, what do I have to lose at this point? Because I was super focused and like ready to jump in at that point. And then it was like, what do I have to lose? It was $99 at that point, I think. And I could earn $5,000, or if I don't, then, I'm still making some money. I'm still getting some great products and, connecting with other people. And then as the month went on, I needed to be more consistent. I think I started out a little bit slow, but then once I saw progress, I just ran with it. Mm-hmm. And then once I saw that like end goal where it was like, oh, I need, X amount of volume till Emerald, I got a little bit disheartened, I would say, because I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, and it's just so much, and like it's a lot to comprehend. But I talked to you about that, and I like shared my concern, and you were like, you just have to know you're going to do it, and you can't think like anything else. So I just set that goal, and I was like, I'm doing this, and this is the day I'm going to do it. And I talked to you, and like I talked to you and Haley, like we talked almost every day. And then that one.
Oh, hold on, you're muted. Okay, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, and then I was like, this is happening this day. And it didn't happen that day, but it happened the next day.
Yeah, I love it. And it's so true, because I remember having a conversation with Lauren, and she was like, it was the beginning of the month. She got her 4 customers like right away. I think you got 5, like maybe like right away. And then she was traveling like with work. Oh, sorry, I get so sidetracked. She was traveling with work, and I was talking to Lauren. I keep calling, because Lauren and Haley are on the same team, you guys. So we were all talking every single day, multiple times a day last month. And so anyways, Lauren got busy because she was traveling and stuff, and so I wasn't really hearing from her as much. And so I think she kind of felt like she just said, she kind of felt like stuck, because she kind of went through her warm market with those 5 customers. And then we kind of like looked at her network, and we figured, okay, we got to start growing your network. And Lauren, how many people did you add to your Facebook every day to start growing your network?
Tons. I've added over at least 450 people in like
crazy.
2 weeks.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it just shows like it's a numbers game, you guys. So the more people that we have to work with, the bigger the network, the bigger the pool, the more fish that we have, to work with. And so Lauren is a complete example of that as soon as she started growing her network, you guys, her business, like she was getting customers, like multiple customers every single day. And then the communication that we all had together, I think played such a huge role, because, Haley is one of her emeralds. And so just going back and forth with different ideas and different tips. And if one of them got, a little bit discouraged, we would all be there to kind of help, pull, to help encourage one another. So it's so amazing. So Lauren, tell me, because you do, obviously you're super, super busy yourself. So what exactly does it take to get to Emerald in 30 days? Because I know there's a lot of people on here are like, holy cow, 30 days Emerald, like that's insane. And I'm even like, wow, like you guys just blow me away. Like you guys just blow my mind. So tell me, like, what's involved in getting to, just maybe a couple tips of what is involved to getting to Emerald?
I would say consistency is one of the biggest things. And I know like that's said a lot, but it's so true that if you're not consistent, people are going to see that. And because everyone's watching you, if you think it or not, like my friends who have seen me do businesses before, they know I've done things before. So this is like just another thing. And they want to see if I'm being consistent with this one. And they've seen that. So people have reached out to me and they're like, hey, I've seen you, I see you're doing it works. Like, what is that? Like, that hair stuff or the cleanse, they see that all the time. So they're asking me about that because they see it like 4 or 5 different times on all their friends' host to post that they're doing. So consistency is huge. And then I think host to posts are super important because that's another way I've grown my network so much. And it's been huge for me to reach out to other people and reinforce like the, like people seeing it multiple times. So I think those are like 2 really, really big things. And then like Haley said, following up, because people, might read it and then forget to respond. Or, I get all the time, payday is this day, like maybe then. So I need to set on my calendar or write down, like I need to follow up with whoever on these days. And that's been really good for me to just know to follow up with those people then.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So what is one tip that you could, or if you have multiple tips, feel free to share them, but what's a good tip that like you would tell, because I know that there's so many newbies on here, what's a really good tip that you could share with them to help them promote this month, whether it's executive or Ruby or Emerald? What's a good tip that you could give them to help them just conquer that goal?
I think consistency is the biggest thing, and getting as many host to post out there. And if you're just starting, like if you've just signed up, don't wait for your, kit to arrive to start posting. Because I would say I didn't start posting right away. Just post everything you're seeing. Ask your upline to like give you some good posts to get interest up there. So I think that's like a huge thing.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Do you have anything else you want, any other tips or any tricks you want to share with us?
No, I think that's good.
Thank you so much, Lauren. You are so amazing. You guys, Lauren is one distributor away from getting mapped for diamond. So she's totally going diamond. So I'm super excited for you, Lauren. Good job, my friend. Thanks for sharing. Okay, I am looking at Megan. Megan, are you all good to come on? You're muted. Sorry, I'm pulling up your questions. All right. Oh, here, let me unmute you. I got you.
Now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Hi, Megan.
Hey.
All right. So you are just a little fireball. Those of you guys, if you guys were on our Zoom last month, actually, Megan was on our Zoom because she got to executive in 30 days in her first, actually before that, in her first like 3 weeks. And then she got to Ruby even before, like way before the month even ended. So Megan, I'm super excited for you to share some of your tips and just your energy. Megan is one of the most determined people I've ever met. And so you guys, she is just amazing. She gets me fired up. So I'm super excited for you guys to hear from her. Megan, do you want to tell a little bit about yourself?
Sure. When I first started, actively, I still do. I have a housekeeping business as well and 4 children, so busy all the time. Life is very, very constant. But when I actually, when I met you, Amanda, you had reached out. You had friended me, and I wasn't sure how we crossed paths somehow. And we got to talking, and you were like, oh, I thought you lived in Arizona. I was like, no, I'm in Texas. But that was one of the best mistakes that ever could have happened. So I just, Lord, I get nervous on these things because it's only my second time. So bear with me. And then my phone's glitching.
So good.
But I was, working full time, doing the other, and now I'm pretty much ready to retire my other business. I want to yesterday. So, but I can see that it's possible for me to do that. So, just continuing to work hard. I know I'll get there.
Yeah, absolutely. So Megan is just so, like, when she has her mindset, she is going to do it. So, like, even last, her first month in, she was like 800 away from getting executive, and she had like 5 days to do it. And you guys, she did it in like 3 days. Like, she is just like that. And so same with Ruby, still had to get those 3 distributors, to get mapped for Ruby. So, and she did it. So, tell me, Megan, like, what kind of, what's your mindset going into each month? Do you do self-development? What kind of things do you do to help you? Because we all know, like, there's little bumps and, that come in our way. People tell us no. So how do you overcome that? What's your mindset? What kind of, self-developments do you do?
Well, I had a friend tell me to watch a movie. What is it called, Amanda?
The Secret.
Yes. I watched that, and I watched it over 2 days because, like, I was like, there's just no way that this is going to, but, listening to the positive energy, and it talks about putting it out and bringing it back in and all of that stuff, it really spoke volumes to me. So if you haven't watched that, you should. But as far as being discouraged, like, it does happen. But like you said on your video earlier today, I try not to stay in that, that state for very long, because if I do, then I know that it's just going to, if you stay in that spot, you're going to be there for a while, unless you just say, no, I'm not going to I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to keep pushing forward. And it's like, yes, customers are going to say no. But the thing is I at least, like, even if they say no, I thank them for their time. I'm always, kind and considerate about, for whatever the reason is that they're not, ready to buy at this time. So I'll either tell them I'm going to reach out to them later, or if they're just like, I just flat out can't afford this. I say, I'm sorry, I couldn't get you signed up, but, would you at least see if your friends might be interested? And generally they're more than willing to help me out. So I try to make it a positive and a win-win either way, whether they sign up, whether I don't get them signed up.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh my gosh. Sorry.
We have Batman. Batman in the house. So cute.
Yeah. But I try not to stay in that negative, that, at the end of when I didn't want to get complacent. Like when I promoted the first time, I was like, okay, I did a lot, but I thought, I have two choices. I'm either going to push and see what can happen, or do nothing and know nothing will. So I just pushed, and I was able to get there again. And now I'm going hard for that emerald, and I'm excited.
That is so awesome. I have no doubt you will get it. How important would you say it is to get plugged into like team trainings or YouTube videos, learning to work this business? Also, how important is it to talk to your upline and your sponsor often? What do you think is the importance? You think, like, how important is that in, getting to your goal?
I would say that it is probably above all, other than, having a planner and writing things down, doing your follow-ups every day, getting the host of posts going, that the most important thing is staying in contact with your upline. Because when, I'm pretty independent and driven, so there's a lot that I do know, but being I'm, not as experienced as my upline, then there's not anything that if I don't know something, I know that someone has the answer. And if I go to my direct upline and they don't know, they're going to go it's just a chain effect. So it's always, staying in contact with them. I first started when they got in the team chat, like I never could answer any questions. But it's because, I consistently was reaching out to you or reaching out to Valerie. I've called that girl so many times. But it makes me more confident as a distributor and a person to have that go-to, to have, that support, because it makes me feel like I'm not alone in this. And that if, at first, I think Haley was saying about, not responding right away. I got panic and I was like, oh my gosh, I was overwhelmed and stuff. And you were like, just, you don't have to answer right away, and just, take it little by little. So I feel that if you don't stay in touch with your upline, that you're only hurting yourself, because they have the answers. And this business is so positive. They are the motivators. And if you'll just listen to them, if you'll just listen to them and take their guidance, they're not going to steer you wrong, because this is, if we're not successful, they're not going to be, and vice versa. So we're going to, take all of them with us and make it golden regardless. So now I'm able to answer questions in those group chats, and it makes me feel confident, because it took learning it, to be able to lead in it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And I was just, so Megan and I, again, we talked several times a day, and also teamed her up with some of her upline, talking several times a day. And I can tell that as she was getting more into this business, that she was more confident in this business, because I wasn't hearing from her as much. I mean, I still hear from Megan daily, but not as much. And I'm like, this girl is getting it, because she, she knows the answer. She's answering her team's questions. She's just taking off and really leading her team and leading other people, who are on the team. So that's amazing. Megan, one more thing, because you are such an amazing distributor and roller. Can you give us a few tips on how you're getting your distributors?
Well, that was actually, I've gotten luck. I feel like there's a lot of things that come into that. Consistency, posting about, the money that I've made, the extra time that it's given me with my family, things that are real, things that get to people, get to their core, that they're, it's not just going to be another post going, something that's going to get their attention, when you're talking about your kids or when you're, real life stuff. That's what gets people's attention. And I know that because I did struggle with it a little bit at first, but I do plan to do some live Zooms. Obviously, that's not my strong suit. I get nervous, but I know that I'm more confident this time than I was the last. So I know if I keep doing it, then it's going to be, even easier every time. So when it comes to getting DTs or distributors, I reached out to my friends and family first. There were a couple that I just never expected. I had actually friended them and they seen my post, and then I would say something like, hey, have you ever dreamt of being a stay-at-home mom? And I mean, that is something I've dreamt about for years. And so when I see something like that, if I want it that bad, I'm not going to make excuses of why I can't join. I'm at least going to seek it out and see if that's even, an option for me. So just, being personable through my communication on my Facebook, and then obviously growing my network, because when I do make a simple post like that, the more people that see it, the more beneficial it's going to be.
Yeah, awesome. I love that. Those are really good tips. What's one tip that you could give a new person getting started who's ready to just get that emerald bonus or ready to promote, whenever it is? What's one tip that you could give somebody who's new in this business?
I would say to don't get discouraged, because sometimes in the beginning, from my own personal experience, I did get discouraged. You have to, and I've heard you say this, Amanda, 1,000 times, you have to water the seed before it's going to grow. And, you can't be stuck on that one customer that said that they were going to join, that didn't, or that you sent your website to, and you're looking at your e-suites and you're not seeing the sale. Like, you can't be fixated on that one. You've got to keep your host to post going every day, several, going at, all different times of the day, because if you're not getting the word out, then it's going to be like you're running in circles. So, I mean, I would say just don't get discouraged. The only thing that's for sure is if you don't work it every day, nothing will happen, because you're going to have hit and misses, but the effort that you put in is going to come back if you just stay with it. And, not to forget that this is a team effort. So, everything that you're doing is going to affect the person under or above you. And that's a big, that we are a team and we have to work together, but just don't get discouraged, because every day is not going to be perfect, but that doesn't mean that the next won't be better. So that's what I would say.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Megan. You are so amazing. And I can't wait to celebrate your emerald this month.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for sharing all your goods.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to call Valerie next since I see her. But somebody asked, Julia said, what are some things you can say after someone just reads your messages but doesn't answer you? So Julia, I typically will just, like, if they see my message but they don't answer, I'll just send them a message and just say, I keep my messages super short and sweet. And somebody else can chime in what they do, or comment below. But I just say, hey, Julia, is this something you're interested? Or hey, Julia, are you interested in the hair, skin, nails? Or hey, Julia, are you, wanting to do this? I'm placing some orders today. Something like that, just very short and sweet, just a sentence, just, for them to answer. If they still don't answer, I'll just keep following. I'll just follow up with them. But sometimes, like, if I have somebody who is like literally going to sign up and then they kind of ghost me and I see that they saw my message, I'll send them a message again. If they still don't answer, I might later on in the week, I might just say, hey, Julia, I saw that you viewed my message. I'm sure you just got busy. Is this something you are wanting to do? as soon as I say, like, I see that you saw my message, they normally will respond and be like, oh, sorry, I was just busy. Or it's normally an excuse they'll come up with. Sorry, I don't have the money right now. Something like that. If anybody else has a good response, you can put it in the chat area. So, okay, my friend Valerie, where are you? Oh, there you are. Hi, Valerie.
Hey.
Valerie just had twins, like, when was on Friday, right? They're so cute. Oh my gosh. You are just a major rock star, Valerie. I am just so impressed by you. You guys, Valerie went Emerald last month, being on bed rest, because she was pregnant, and this month still literally just had twins on Friday and got to Diamond, and her husband to Emerald. It is just mind-blowing. Like, you are just literally, I call you like superwoman because you really are. And you guys, in the hospital, she was still working, and I'm like, Valerie, I'm like, just relax. And she was like, I might as well work. I'm just laying here. The twins are sleeping. And that just, it just shows that, like, if you want something so bad, you're going to get it. And all that stuff, everything that she invested, like the time that she could have been sleeping with her twins, like, because she probably should have been, but that time she took, that sacrifice from sleep or whatever, it was an investment for her. Now she has earned $10,000 and her husband's Emerald and she's Diamond. Like, how amazing is that? So amazing. So I pretty much just told your story for you, but Valerie, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, that's basically it. But for me, it wasn't about, like, I could have been spending time with them, like I was spending time with them, but it's not doing like the pointless stuff, like just scrolling through my phone or watching TV, like relaxing, I guess. Like, I love this business. Like, it gives me this weird, crazy, like, adrenaline rush. And at the end of the day, when I should go to sleep, I don't want to. So it's like, I would much rather sit there and work the business. And sorry, I'm so really emotional.
Oh my gosh, you don't even be sorry. You are so amazing. You're going to make me cry. It's so true, you guys. Valerie is just like such a fresh breath of air because literally she just, she's just so amazing and so inspiring to so many people. And so Valerie found, like, she went Emerald last month, and then this month she was like, okay, I'm having my twins, so I'm just going to really get my Emerald super strong, maintain it. And then she found out that her husband could go Emerald this month and she could go Diamond, and he would get a $5,000 bonus. So literally it went from she's just going to work hard, help her team out, maintain, to really full, like, gas is on, like, foot is on the gas, going full speed into Diamond mode. So it was pretty amazing, like a flip of a switch. So
yeah, it was cool. I owe it all to that bonus though, like that $49 deal that we had going on for distributors. That was like key. That was so awesome.
That was so huge. And so what is so Valerie, I'm just gonna jump into like what you did. So what are what is the importance of growing your network, and how important is that? Because I know that was a big game changer for you in getting your enrollments. So how important is that?
I would definitely say that's one of the top things. That's one of the things I preach the most to my team about, is like how important it is to grow your network. Like, we're all comfortable, with 200 or 300 friends. Like, that's what we used our Facebook for, was just for our friends. But until you really hit like 1,500, I would say at least, you're not going to I guess I shouldn't say you're not, because it's possible, but the customers come a lot easier after you hit that 1,500 mark, because, that many more people are seeing your post every day. Like, I think growing your network is one of the most important things that you can do by far. So, like, seriously, every customer I signed last month, I didn't know a single one of them. So it's just like they were all friends of friends of friends that I either friend requested from host to host, or from, you know, growing, because I grow my network every night before I go to bed. That's what I do. I just pick a friend, I go through their friends, and I go lights out. That's like the last thing I do every day. So that's like super huge. And I did like 3 nights last month. I didn't do it. And I woke up like so mad at myself every day. Like, oh my God, I forgot. So, yeah.
You are so amazing. So is that how you grow your network, is that you will pick a friend and then just start adding their friends to your network? Is there any other things that you do?
No, like, I mean, that's pretty much it. I pick a friend every single night and I go through their network and I add every single girl that they are friends with if we have 4 or more friends in common.
Awesome.
So,
That's amazing. So, can you give us like a day by day, like what do you do each day? Like what tasks do you do? Are there certain things that you do every single day? Obviously you grow your network. What are some of the other things that you do each day to work your business? Because obviously you are the most consistent person ever. And you work even in the hospital. So what are some of the things that you do each day?
I think that I used to say like waking up, you know, before everybody else would in the morning and taking some time for yourself to do that self-development is so huge. And like I always did self-development, but I never got up early because I was always up so late. But last month I started getting up just like 15-20 minutes before everybody else. And it made a huge difference because I was able to sit down, just kind of like regroup my thoughts for the day. I'd get my first post out. Because I'd get all my host to post messages out the night before. And so then I'd be like, okay, well, I'll send you a reminder in the morning to make the post. So I'd get all those reminders out and I'd have like 15 host to posts going most days. And it made my day just go so smooth. There was a couple days where I didn't do that because I was just so exhausted and I felt like frazzled the whole day. I hated it. So I was like, no more.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so big into that too. Sorry, I think my boys are coming to say goodnight.
Okay.
I love you. Say hi, team. Okay, say goodnight.
Guys.
I'll be in a little bit.
Can't do
Good. And so one of the books, you guys, that we're actually doing a book club with the team, which is our first one ever. It's so fun, but is the book called Miracle Morning. And I started this about a year ago. It's like the 3rd time I've read this book. If you have not read it, I really encourage you to, because just like Valerie just said, like it makes a world of a difference getting up and getting yourself ready, for the day, your mindset ready. And so I think that is so huge. Valerie, so you obviously do host to post. As you guys can see, like every single person on here have been doing host to post. That is just an amazing way, and asking for referrals. We're really big about host to post and asking for referrals. And it's just such an amazing way to not only grow your network, but also grow your potentials list. So Valerie, are there for all the people that you add to your network that aren't host to post, like the people that you're adding from your friends list, at what point do you then reach out to them? Are you reaching out to them right away? Do you wait a little bit and build that relationship? What's your method on that?
I definitely wait and build the relationship. The only way that I'll reach out right away is if it's a host to post person, you know. Other than that, I try to approach every situation how I would want to be treated, even though I know not how everybody works. I don't ever want to come off like I'm trying to sell somebody something, because that's not at all my, and I don't want them to accept my request and then me send them a message and them think like, oh God, this chick's just going to try to sell me something down the road, So I friend request them when I wake up in the morning and I have all these like hundreds of people that added me. I'll go ahead and I'll just go to their page and I'll like and comment. I try to like 3 things and comment at least once. Sometimes, honestly, I just go through it because I just don't really have any time. And I don't know if that does anything or not, but it makes me feel better.
Yeah, I love that. It's definitely about building that relationship, because people do not want us to add them and then spam them right away about our stuff. So I love that. So you obviously you send out messages, you do self-development daily. you grow your network. Is there anything else that you do? You build relationships. Is that
I try to stay in touch with my team like as often as possible. I definitely slacked on that last month. But I plan on picking that back up this month. I was just so like busy trying to push, and I had so many new distributors that needed to wait, you know, till this month to really get going. So I was determined to like just fill that volume myself. And so I needed to just put my head down and get to work.
Yeah, awesome. I am so proud of you. Let me see if there's any other questions that I had for you. I think that was it. Did you have anything else you wanted to add? Any tips for newbies?
Just don't get discouraged. Like so many people get discouraged right off of the bat, you know, because you're not seeing those results right away. But it takes time. Like anytime you start a business, you're not going to see good results right away. You know, like for most companies, it takes them like a year to even get off of the ground. So we're fortunate that it takes a couple of months, but you have to be consistent. You can't, you know, slow down or give up at all and then wonder why you're not seeing results, because it takes consistency. Just like they said, everybody really is watching and they're waiting for you to fail. Like yesterday, I had made a post and some girl commented on there like, you just had your babies, like give it a rest. And it's like, no, I'm not going to give it a rest. Like I love doing this. So yeah, it's like those types of people, they don't see the value, you know. But then today I posted about how I went diamond, and she private messaged me and was like, wow, like that's so incredible. Can you tell me more about the business? So it's like, she was interested. It probably annoyed her that I had these babies and that I was still working, but that's what happens when you love what you do.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is that you can work from your home with them. You know, that's pretty amazing. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm so proud of you. You are
Thank you. All right, sorry about the cry fest.
Oh my gosh, don't be sorry at all. You're about to make me cry.
Oh, sorry.
You're so amazing. Thank you for sharing all your tips.
You are amazing. Thank you for leading us and making this team as great as it is.
You're welcome, my friend. You guys make it so easy.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let me see. I saw Crystal on here earlier. Okay, there you are, Crystal. I see you, my friend.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. All right, Crystal. Crystal just went diamond, you guys, and got her hubby to, she actually triple promoted this month, you guys could kind of say. She got emerald, and she was emerald for 5 minutes, and 5 minutes later, she was diamond. So, like, literally, she was emerald for 5 minutes. And her husband also got emerald and a $5,000 bonus. So, Crystal, will you tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been in the business for?
Yes. I started in November. I met Amanda through a friend who posted for her. And she had posted saying that her friend Amanda was looking for hair models. And I thought of my mom because it was like about to be Christmas. And I'm like, that's a good Christmas present. So I went to Amanda's page and I saw all these posts of her like hanging out with her kids all day and like having fun. And they were so cute. And so I just messaged her asking her about it. I don't have any kids of my own, but my husband and I have been on an adoption list for about a couple of years now. And I just felt like that's what I wanted. You know, when the day does come, I don't want to miss any more time than I probably already have. So I decided, well, after asking like a billion questions, I decided to join. And yeah, when I started, it took me a while to actually get into it. I don't think I started working until like 2 months later. But after that, once I started getting into it and, you know, attending the Zooms and watching YouTube videos and all that, I got into it and kept running.
Yeah, awesome. I love that. And Crystal really did, like, she got in and she was working the business, but she was very hesitant. And she would come to me and she didn't want to post really on social media. She wanted to start like a new a new Facebook page. But she was coming to all of the team training. She was getting plugged in. Like, I would hear from her, you know, I would hear from her still. And then all of a sudden, I think that just by seeing, you know, videos and trainings and stuff like that. She just said when, like, it was in December, right? In December.
January, I think, when it started changing, yeah.
Yeah, January, she's just like, I'm changing my mind. She's like, I'm, you know, telling everybody about this because she didn't want to tell her family and close friends and stuff like that. And ever since then, she literally just took off. And so, Crystal, can you share with us, because I know that you've had, I mean, you have literally since January been on Pam's Zoom. Like, you are a top enroller with when it comes to loyal customers. You get tons of loyal customers every single month. So can you share with us how you're getting these customers exactly?
Yeah, pretty much like everyone else, the host to post have been like my baby. It's something that I do every single day. I think in the beginning I would probably get like 2 or 3, and I feel like that was like, you know, good. When in January I got, I think, 22 loyal customers for that month, and it was like huge for me because my goal for the year was 100, and like it was just amazing, and that was an amazing feeling to like feed off of. So every month I've kind of just tried to get more host to post and just doubling it at least to get there.
That's amazing. You are so cool. So amazing, because what I love is that, like, she literally in December was getting like 2 customers, and then her mindset shifted, you guys, and she was like, okay, I'm doing this. And she just put it all in, and she got over 20 customers when she decided that she was ready for more, that she was ready to do this. Okay, so you went Ruby in, so actually, you guys, she went Ruby in March, correct? And then March, April, and then she double promoted in April. So in February, guys, she was super, super close for getting Ruby. And then she didn't. She got it in March. And in March, she was super close to getting that Emerald. And then she ended up getting it in April. So can you tell us what your mindset is? How do you overcome, like, when you're wanting something so bad, but you aren't quite there yet? Like, can you share with us, like, your mindset, what kind of self-development you do?
Yeah, it's definitely easy to get discouraged, especially when you feel like you like tried your hardest to get there. But it was definitely those YouTube videos that I would watch all the time, and kind of just changing my mind to like, it doesn't need to happen at that moment. As long as I keep going, and at some point it's going to happen, and that's all that really matters. So as soon as I changed that mindset and knew that like when it happens, it's going to be the right time for me, and then it just started happening.
Yeah, I love that. And you guys, I will tell you, Crystal and I talk several times a day, and I have never heard a negative thing come out of Crystal's mouth. She is just always so positive and just always like willing to do what, you know, if something's not working, she's willing to change it up. And I think that that's so important in this business. Like, if something didn't work last month, or if you're doing something and it's just not working, how important it is to change up what you're doing to see what does work. So I will say that, you know, mindset and having that positive attitude is just so huge. And she just, you know, flourished like in April. I mean, the other months too, but really, like, you know, going from Ruby to hitting 2 emeralds plus a diamond, like, that's huge. And not only that, filling a lot of volume. So tell me, because you still had probably, it was like, what was it? Like a little less than 10 days and still had like 3,000 volume to fill. So how important is it to work with your team and something like that? How important is that communication, and to kind of tell me what you did, because you kind of led your team and kind of gave them responsibilities to grow their business. So can you share with us what you did for that?
Yeah, I think that's something that definitely helped this month, because the months prior I was so focused on like figuring out my own schedule and how to fit this into my life that I don't think I led my team very well. And then this month I changed that, and I made sure to talk to my team every single day, see where they were at, how many host to posts they had, try and have them, you know, be encouraged to do more posts, and basically just kind of, you know, see what they needed and see where they were at every single day. And I think we did a couple of whoever had the most host to post, I would send a free wrap to, and things like that, just to kind of get the team going. And it definitely helped. And it also just builds your relationship with your team, and you get to, you know, make friends, and it's super fun.
Yeah, I love that. What is one of your biggest tips that you can give everyone tonight who's either just got in and ready to like get going, or who have been in and just they're ready to, you know, promote, they're ready to take it to the next level?
Definitely, like everyone else, just don't get discouraged. I feel like that's the main thing that is so easy to do, and to just keep going. I think something that I saw that someone asked what YouTube videos, and I think the thing that really helped me was there's a lot of meditation videos of law of attraction, and I would just listen to those until I fell asleep. And I think that helped a lot. And also like Jade Hooper, her training videos, I really like the way she like talks, and so I just kind of plugged into everything she had to say along with other other distributors, and just definitely stay plugged into the Zooms, to Mark's lives. Anything that was like live, I was like listening to it, even if I was at work.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And I think it's so important to, just like what you said, like find somebody who inspires you in this business, who, is a top leader in this business, or who just somebody who works this business and they're showing that they're doing incredible in this business, and find those people and follow them and get inspired by them, and watch their videos, because it's amazing. Because something that I might do, Crystal might not like the way I do it, and she might do something that works for her. What works for me might not work for Crystal, and so forth. So finding those people in this business who you can relate to and who can give you tips and inspire you and give you new ideas, I think is so important. And I will say, I've been in this for 4 years. I know Jackie and Sarah have been in this, for a long time as well. And I guarantee they are pouring into themselves and doing trainings every single day or weekly. They're learning new tips and tricks, and that's why we do these Zooms. They help us too. Like, I'm like writing down notes because of you guys. So I think that's so huge. So thank you so much, Crystal. I appreciate all of you and just all of your wise tips, and I'm so excited for you and your growing business and all your team. Like, you guys are just incredible. I cannot even say enough.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome. Do any of you guys, I know we kind of went over our hour, or it's just right at the hour. We actually did pretty good. Did any of you guys have any questions or anything that you want to add? Now is your time to ask. We have a huge month, you guys, a huge month. So many promotions. I know so many of you guys are getting those Emerald bonuses. So many of you guys are just getting into this business and wanting to hit that executive and Ruby and your 4 customers. And so, so thank you guys so much for plugging in, because I feel like that's, such a huge part in this business is getting plugged in. All right, well, if nobody has any questions, then we will end our Zoom. Thank you guys so much for all of you guys who talked and gave us your tips, and thank you guys for sharing your night with us. All right, bye guys.